Please leave this attachment. Steady cycle. Launch. The media. So we have to find the media. But
We can check the inventory that you just did.
no, this one. No. We have some chemical going on.
No, no.
Usually have this. So we have to tell, oh, this is not cotton. Cheers.
Yeah, I've seen FPS. And
It's there.
I don't remember seeing insulin.
I saw two.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah, it is okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah, let's just take the inventory. If
it's
it's
not open here. It's messed up. It's messed up. This part was
I open the bottom.
this one, right? We didn't move
No, I don't.
because this one is the same something. Maybe I
Could be. As long as nothing is there. Oh.
that with
Wait, let me check the inventory. You don't have to go through
I remember we have two kilograms. Not just people know that's the typical weight. I remember the bottle. Yesterday's class.
Which?
This
Oh.
reminded me that so the finance is no 4 semester.
Yeah. Fine. I don't see it in the. Yeah, I don't see it in our.
And
Oh, wait, we have sodium pyrethroid.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to 1 or 2.
Oh, the spelling is off. That's why I couldn't find it.
Did I wrote something?
No, you didn't put A. It's okay.
Is
So
it?
it's in the F2. from Sigma Aldrich. And we have
F2, F2, not F2, not F2. Not F negative 20.
It's an F2. We have two of them, 25 gram from Sigma Aldrich.
Yes. You have to make sure it's okay. Because without chemical, we have to keep it. Now it's keep searching. Maybe just check. Whoever did this one. No. We don't even have a man. Alpha man or no man? We don't have a man.
Hello. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. I'm gonna go stuff some more bags.
Before we
Oh.
check the chemicals and then really seems like we don't have a man and weight and then
Okay.
for the sodium pyruvate we
A lot
found
of, and that's not in the, okay.
we found we have this
Oh, yeah.
instead of
Sodium pyruvate, and that's, yeah. We just have to, oh, but just look that up in the, because that's probably liquid form from this company. We just have to find out what the concentration everything is. And then I asked Asif if he'd help you guys.
Yeah.
It's very simple, because basically what we're doing is, so there are 5 separate cell lines. You're just gonna we're gonna grow up one at a time. Asif's gonna help you, like, just, I know you both know how to do cell culture, but I want you to just get really good at it. And then you're gonna be plating these cells, and then when it's ready to go, you're gonna do the various concentrations of C4 or C5 and just look at the proliferation status. And then the cell line that shows the greatest inhibitory effect.
using CCK.
Yeah, so I've never done that assay before, but I'm sure it's the same as everything. You just add something that's gonna turn to a color and you look it up in the microplate reader. But the cell line that shows sensitivity to these compounds, or the greatest sensitivity, then we'll show them the data, and then that's what we'll use for the tumor genesis assays. But when you're running the assays, take a picture of what the plates look like. You always want to do that in addition to the quantitative analysis, because you just want to show that with it. But but when they say FBS, they gotta be a little more specific then. Like, what kind of FBS?
We have the high chrome.
Yeah, I'm assuming, well, we've grown Tim ourselves, so, and we may even have stuff left over from methods in there.
Yeah.
But which ones do we need? The ones with the X's?
Yes.
Yes.
So ME and media.
Just these 2 things?
Yes.
But you can use that. But, maybe I'll just buy this because it has to be sterile.
Oh.
So these mean we have it? The
Yes.
checks?
Yes.
The X's mean we don't?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now, let's get a handle on, because I get more of a handle on these assays as I go through things. And this is all new to me, but it reminds me of now it's like a CRISPR-Cas thing. Okay, so my goal is, I'm trying to keep this grant simple, because at AIM-1 is just because we're targeting PPAR gamma, it's complicated. So my goal is to we say, here are these markers that went up or down by melatonin, and they were the LNC RNAs. And you told me you have the sequences in that original Excel file that you sent me. So what I want to do is so when I was doing expectations, expected results, I said if melatonin increases LNCRNA, then if we transfect in and overexpress that LNCRNA, we should have similar results. And if we combine it with melatonin, we might have enhanced results, right?
Yes.
So if we look at osteoblastogenesis, and this is the other thing, all of those markers, I have to know what they're related to. Are they more osteoblastic differentiation, adipogenic, PPAR gamma regulated? Because then that's going to change how I'm going to interpret the data by the Ames. I'm so far keeping it at Ames 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 1.1 is just the effect of these LNCRNAs on osteoblastogenesis. AIM 1.2 is on the effects of adipogenesis. AIM 1.3 is on PPAR gamma. PPAR gamma levels, and then PPAR gamma mediated adipogenesis and osteoblastogenesis using rosiglitazone, which is a PPAR gamma agonist, and G3335, and that GW9862, which is the irreversible. So let's just go through what I'm thinking. So I have to write it this way, and I got to do it in minimal space, but I wrote out all of it, and then I have to just start massaging it. But I said that of the melatonin LNCRNAs, the melatonin upregulated, adding a mimic should show similar results. Adding melatonin with it should enhance the results. Of those LNCRNAs that melatonin downregulated, adding those mimics should do the opposite of the melatonin effect. So if melatonin stimulated osteoblastogenesis, adding this mimic should inhibit osteoblastogenesis. But then I want to say, but if I add melatonin to it, it's going to reverse the mimic.
Yes.
It could, or attenuate it. Because we're putting in extra, but the cells are probably going to have those too.
Yeah.
So that's another part of the in is we just have to show that the cells actually have these elements or have them endogenously.
Okay.
So if we add melatonin plus those mimics that melatonin downregulated, I would think it would negate the opposing effect of melatonin. It would be less than just the mimic alone. I'm going to call them mimics just for now.
Yeah.
then those. So if osteoblastogenesis goes up, adipogenesis goes down. But then it depends on what the LNCRNA is regulating.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of subdivide it by that. But so let's just say that melatonin downregulated the LNCRNA, and that's what produced osteoblastogenesis. If we add a mimic, then I would say that that mimic's going to decrease osteoblastogenesis and maybe increase adipogenesis if it's going through PPAR gamma. If it's affecting the switch, so you got to run all those controls with it. So the controls are like LNCRNA alone, LNCRNA plus melatonin, and then plus the antagonist. Adding the melatonin receptor antagonist shows that it's through the melatonin receptor.
Yes.
We might get receptor independent effects, and that's why we do the, LNCRNA. We run everything just with just vehicle. It's because it's the controls they're looking for. So, and then the same thing for adipogenesis. Then with the PPAR gamma, so now you got a middle thing. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the LNCRNA effects on PPAR gamma levels and activity. The levels is just by regular PPAR gamma antibody activity is through phospho-PPAR gamma. That's the active state. So I just want to see what does it do to levels. What does it do? Then I'm going to do rosiglitazone, the inhibitor, and look at osteoblastogenesis and adipogenesis. But then you add the LNCRNA mimic, and then you stimulate with rosiglitazone, right? Or
Yes.
inhibit with the PPAR gamma inhibitor. So we first have to know what is that LNCRNA doing to PPAR gamma levels.
Yeah.
And let's say it decreases levels, because that would be osteoblastogenesis, right?
Yes.
But if I add rosiglitazone, I would block that effect, because that's a stimulator of PPAR gamma. That would push the cell away from osteoblastogenesis towards adipogenesis. But if I add the inhibitor alone, I just want to see what the effect of is on its own. It would be impacting on endogenous PPAR gamma. But then I do rosiglitazone plus those inhibitors. I should block that rosiglitazone-induced adipogenic response.
Does all the adipogenesis is dependent on PPAR?
No.
Like, is there any independent pathway?
No, this is why I bring that up. I say, so we might get, we still might get the no effect with the rosiglitazone and the G3335. So that is a PPAR gamma independent effect. And if they ask, well, what's your alternative to that? That's when I hit the dio-2.
Oh.
That's when I go to uncoupling protein. So that's what I was thinking of yesterday and trying to like write that out. So now what I need from you is, because I don't want to get into these microRNAs, that's future directions. Because that just becomes much too complicated. And all of these antibodies and all of these things we're measuring, because we're not just measuring alizarin red and oil red O, we're measuring, markers of osteoblasts, which I was telling you, it's not just alizarin red. You got to show that osteoblast specific proteins are going up.
Also mRNA, yes,
I'm not doing mRNA. But then for adipogenesis, not only do we have to show that it stains for the dye, but you show adipogenic markers are going up.
Exactly.
But then we have the LNCRNA specific markers that were modulated in bone by melatonin. And those are also what we're going to be looking at. But to make it easy on the reviewer, I want to subdivide them into LNCRNA osteoblast specific markers, LNCRNA adipocyte specific markers, and then LNCRNA PPAR gamma specific markers. And then we even have Browning markers. So it's going through all of those, like all of Asana's papers. I went through all of your links, and I was looking at the papers and what they were showing. And what the nice thing about it is, not only do some of them show like osteoblasts and adipocytes and Browning. 2 of them I looked at were more diabetic related. So then those are going to go to AIM-3. Because you don't want to say, oh, I'm just going to randomly look at everything, because then it looks like you're throwing a wide net and you don't know what you're doing. I want to be very targeted in how I approach this. I say, we're going to first do these ones, because this is osteoblast specific. This will be in my expected result. I expect these osteoblast specific ones to do this, adipocyte specific ones to do this, and PPAR gamma specific ones to do this. And then in AIM-3, I expect these more diabetes ones to play more of a role in this. So that's why I need those tables kind of categorized a little bit to help me. But you're both doing a great job. So you took her table and you added your stuff to hers, because it's super
That
clear.
was the last, yes.
Okay, because I did see that you both sent me, but I had to read that dissertation last night.
All right.
But that will help, because I have to meet with the budget officer tomorrow after what I think we have a clinical trial appointment. I'm going to meet her after. But I'm going to, I need to kind of like to see how much things cost, and you have to do, it has to be feasible. So right now we're looking at like 13 proteins, but I want to kind of show that there's a logic, like how we're going to progress.
So my table has 3 new columns.
Yeah, I made her do that. Then I'm like, oh, by the way,
No.
thank you for the chemical inventory that took you 3 days. Now I need all the sequences
No, it's fine.
of the
So
elements.
that fit in a little bit, there is one like possible abstract, because some we made first table, some of them may not be really related with, like you can't find like a microRNA or like a really like the protein, because that was like some kind of like a
So
cancer or
do I
something.
have a sequence though? So some of those
For the
LNCR.
LNCRNA, we can find it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I can get the sequence, that's good, because that's novel. So that's going to be like we call it Hail Mary. So it's like
All right.
because that's the novelty, is that we're discovering LNCRNAs that I have never even heard of. So we're going to put those in and see what happens. So that's okay, as long as they're categorized in that table.
First we complete LNCRNA part, and then try to find like a possible like a searchable.
So in the future, and maybe I'll even say it. I got to see where I would put it, or like an alternative.
Yeah.
That's when I go to the microRNA,
Okay.
because microRNA would be future direction.
Got it.
Once we just establish there's an LNCRNA effect, then we get to mechanism in the
Okay.
next screen.
Okay.
But right now the
Yeah.
goal, that's why I got to keep it. I was going down the microRNA thing, and I'm like, no, I put that in future directions, like what you were suggesting, like do they bind together?
Yeah.
Like how are they actually sponging?
So in the paper, it's like not our strategy. Like first hit the balancing part, and next they just did everything like at the same time and just
Right.
Okay. So that was so confused. Why they did all of this?
Well, and I can't write that in a grant. So my goal is, so how I'm approaching this, and I'm trying to keep. Once I get the aim one written, then it's going to be easy for me to do aim two, because the only difference between those aims is going to be what has happened to those bone cells before they get isolated. So they're primary cells, male, female, exposed to hormones, and I want to know how did that affect the LNCRNAs? How did that affect their responsivity to, and I'm debating whether to use the beta-3 agonist and melatonin, but I kind of want to look at that. Like how did that change their ability to turn into an adipocyte? Did they become more sensitive to an adipocyte or less sensitive? And the reason I say that is because postmenopausal women get higher bone marrow adipose tissue.
Yeah.
And they get, so their bone disease is very different looking than a male bone disease. So, and that's where I'm going because everything's about the bone microenvironment. So that's why I'm doing overectomized models, and then I'm doing overectomized with estrogen. I'm doing orchidectomized.
What's the
That stimulates lipolysis.
Okay.
So I was going to go that path. I might not, because now I'm just doing the LNCRNAs. But I want to know if these cells, these bone cells, have been taken from an animal that's been deprived of estrogen or testosterone. Did that change the sensitivity of those to the LNCRNAs? Are they more prone to going into an adipocyte? And is it sex specific? And so I'm thinking, I would think it's going to, well, who knows with testosterone, but I'm thinking for sure the estrogen depletion is going to make it become more adipogenic. And if it does, is it because there's an upregulation of p-prime gamma? It's a really cool thing. And then in the metabolic pathology, you separate obesity versus type 2 diabetes because their bone health is completely different. They get fractures, but they have low bone turnover. So if someone comes in presenting with low bone turnover, you think you should put them on an anti-resorptive, which is going to make that bone turnover even be worse? No. So we want to know, what is it about the microenvironment that changes with obesity and changes with the type 2 diabetes? Do they become less responsive? So there's just, it's cool. So it's like we're doing the same assays. But how they present to you, because they've been through a lot. Let me just say they've been through a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to keep that fairly straight. And then the bones of aims 2 and 3 will be taken out. They'll have their bone marrow looked at. They'll look at their bone strength. Like all of that stuff's happening. But we're taking out the bone cells in some of them and looking at the primary cultures and seeing how responsive they are. Like, do they want to go down a fate of adipocytes? So, and then I want to look at all those cool metabolic markers. And I'm not thinking that all of them are going through p-par gamma, because we show that diode-2 affect uncoupling protein 1. So then future direction could be like, well, maybe we bypass p-par gamma and go to uncoupling protein 1. I think that most of the effects are going to be through that mitochondria. But there's melatonin receptors on that mitochondria too.
Yes.
So
Lots of things. Like there are even 2 of the process can happen simultaneously.
right, and I'm sure they do because it's the melatonin field.
Yeah.
And that's why I've got to keep the aims simple, because there's so much going on. There's so much I've got to think about when I'm interpreting that data. So that's why I keep staying away from that microRNA, and I say, in the future, we'll target these microRNAs. I was thinking maybe if I don't see an
Alternative.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, then we will go this
Yeah,
way.
and then the other thing is, like, if the LNCRNA doesn't work, I might look at I don't know, maybe I won't do that, because I just don't want to get into the microRNAs unless I substantiate that the LNCRNA works. But do you get it now? Like,
Now
so maybe. So my thing is that I have to show that whatever was in bone is in those stem cells. So I have to kind of so I think I have like part of the aim looking at like just, are these LNCRNAs expressed in these cells differently? So I have to add something like that in there. But I need the terminology, because I know I say mimics, but I know that's not correct.
Yeah.
I have to say we're going to use like whatever those plasmids are. That's why I need the kits.
Can I just quickly
Sure.
go through like what I have done? Like this is they're taking. It's the LN7 and it's the sequences from the arrested table that we have at hand. So is this how you want?
Yeah, but there's supposed to be 200 nucleotides.
Yeah, I know, but it's just very short. But if I go to TAT1 LN non-coding RNA sequences, those are like really long.
And is this what they were assessing? Like is this what they were showing that it's at TUG1?
Yeah.
They might just do PCR, then that's the primary sequences is short, so that sequence might be short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like.
Just show you.
Usually primers are like 10 nucleotides. They're not very long.
This is the TAT1 and this is the sequence one, and I took it from there. But if I go to the RNA database, these are like really long.
Yeah, because remember the definition of an LNCRNA is 200 nucleotides or longer.
Yeah.
So what I just need to, is that what they're probably got that on a chip. And there's enough there that if there's binding, because there's the odds, I'm sure that would substantiate that there's enough.
And this is the like taxation I think here. So if I put that in, I'll get the whole.
Yeah, so if you have that, that's what I was telling you about the accession number, because it'll give you everything about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but that's like huge.
No, I know, and
Okay.
it should be long.
If that's what you want, I can.
No, but I really just need to have a kit that I'm gonna put in the DNA, so I just need the kits. And right now I think I'm just gonna stick with, see, this is where the microRNA kind of comes in, but so when we overexpress, how am I gonna have an inhibitor?
What they do is for LNCRNA, there is a mimic kit and there is an inhibitor kit.
Oh.
So basically the inhibitor kit is the silent cigarette.
Oh,
It's like a SIR.
to that.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know, perfect.
So it just
Perfect. And then don't they have an internal scrambled control though?
Yes, they do.
Perfect, I need to know that
they
too.
do
In the
have
paper,
that.
yes.
I need to know those control, well, the kids should have them too. Do the kids, here's the controls. Did my DNA even get it? That's transfection efficiency.
Yeah.
Did a scrambled version with all the same nucleotides, just not in the order to make TUG1?
Yeah.
Did that not do anything? Because you got a control for just getting a lot of DNA in the cell. So these are the controls I got, and there's a lot of them, and those are the things that I'm writing on. So that's perfect. I just need those kits. And then if you really can't find one, because there was that, what did you call it, PDM 20 something? That's I think the one I ended up on last night.
PMD20G1.
So, you can't find any kit? You said you couldn't
no,
find.
I could find a kit for it, but what was missing? Oh yeah, LN7 kit was missing. LN7 mimic kit and inhibitor kit was missing. That's the one I could.
So I'm wondering what would I do with that one?
So
They
when I-
customize a lot of the
So,
LN7.
when I
Go ahead.
went to
They customize the.
Oh, that's when I need the sequences.
so when I went to the conofficial, and if you know the sequence,
They
then
can
you
make.
you copy and paste the sequence, then they sometimes we cannot
Okay,
find.
that's what I
We
need then.
cannot find through the.
I did that too, but there was none.
Nothing sure.
No,
Then
no, I
they
I
don't-
put down the base ID as you
Okay.
said, but there.
No, not the base ID. There is the second one. The second one.
I like for.
Yeah, if you know the sequence, then they can make it.
Yeah,
That's
they-
easy to
they
make.
can-
They show the available that's what
I will try again. So this
Okay.
this.
And then we say for these ones that we don't have any LNCRNA kits, we'll have them custom synthesized. And that's what I would use the table or the sequence using these sequences.
Yeah.
That's when I would need to. So you don't have to actually find. You only need to find the sequences for the ones that don't have kits.
Okay. Sure. So this is like.
But does that kind of clear what's going on
Yeah.
with everything?
Yeah.
So it's you're gonna transfect very easy.
Yeah.
It sounds really complicated, but it's super simple.
Yeah, but there are a lot of options. So I didn't pinpoint one. I'm just giving you.
I
the
just
link
need a
to the-
basic. I just need a
So
basic.
they have cDNA, ORF, but these are for mRNA and these are for just G.
So
for
the one-
CRISPR and lentivirus.
So what I would do CRISPR because I can say that we've done that in the
Yeah.
past and cite the technique.
Yeah.
And then I only want the LNs, and then look in the table that ones that are associated with a change in mRNA. That's why I put the mRNA in there.
Okay.
So So with these LNCRNAs, when you say you trying to regulate that mRNA? Is that what you're saying for some of those kits?
For some of those kits, it's like in the description they say like this is mRNA mimic, like
Oh.
mRNA. So I avoided those.
No, you want to go to
The catalog number I give in the table is only for genes.
Okay, I
Like
just
this-
I want the
Like
LNCRNAs.
CRISPR clones
Yeah.
and the gene one
Okay.
on the
So,
mouse.
for example, like
But I need mouse and
add the
human.
sequence here, then they show like we can add the access number here.
Yeah.
But
I did that.
if I put like a sequence number, then they show their product.
Yeah, you just have
If
to
it's
verify. They'll
available.
make whatever you put in there.
If it's that's they show like
Yeah, I will just
a
check
say
it for
number
you.
also.
This is
something.
the one I couldn't find anything.
And I will just say that we will have them custom made using this company.
Yeah,
That's all we need to really say. I just kind of need a price. Because I actually, you know how much is just to get 10 vials? So I called Lonza yesterday and said, can I get male and female stem cells? So for 5 of female, 5 of male is $10,000.
That's too much.
$1,000 at 80 just to grow 1 vial of cells.
Wow.
That's like when you like work with those cells. You're like, that's $1,000 in my hands. Yes, I know.
That's too much.
So, well, what you do then is you expand them. You take that, you make 3, you make like 2 plates or 3 plates out of them, and you get 9 vials. Because you can only go up to passage 5.
So each one is 1,000.
Well, so you get a vial.
Yeah.
You have to grow them up.
Yeah.
So you plate them into 3 10-centimeter plates. And then when they get confluent, then you freeze down 3 vials. So you get 9 vials out of that 1,000.
Oh, God.
And you can only go to passage 5. So as soon as you do them once, it's passage 2.
Yes. But they send passage 2. Oh,
No, well,
we can't just.
no, they actually harvest those cells and purify them.
That's a lot of money.
But yeah, so this is very helpful because you're allowing me to focus on my grant. But you see, everything's coming in. Of course, we have the chemical inventory due right before I go, and of course, and I just keep laughing.
Perfect time.
Oh, then I just keep getting stuff, and then Anuj is going to have a committee meeting right before I go. Like, of course, IRB never get asked to review one because I have to review one in addition to the Australian dissertation. So I'm just like, I just keep going. So I'm just. So today was a good day. So I read everything. It was a successful defense. You guys know what you're doing. You're getting urine cups. So just tell me how many more. These saliva kits are coming.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask, will this come with
Yes, I ordered. They ordered 8 packs, 25 per pack. I said with insert. So I'm assuming.
Okay.
Hope to goodness that's
Yeah.
what it is. I told them those straw things.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll
And then you found the labels, and you'll be able to put the labels on.
Yeah, I found them. I'll find them. I will just put down the long sequences here. These are the short ones from the Excel. Okay. And I will just look again for this LS.
And this is good because you guys are seeing how you're going to do your essay, so this is all relevant anyway.
Yeah. Slowly slipping in, not.
Well, me too, because I'm like, when I have that quiet time and I like start to analyze and say, how do I do this? How do I word this? That's when I start to shoot out all these emails. This is what happens. So just there's a lull time and then there's like I finally started answering all your emails and I'm like, you guys are like, just wake up in the morning, you get like 100 emails from me. It just happens. But then there's that lull time. But the one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to download all those endnote references.
Where I can find the sequence then for my RNC or any part, and I don't have the sequence.
So for microRNA yesterday, if I just they have an ID for each microRNA LNCR. If you give an ID, they will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They give you that ID and you can go right to it.
I don't have to find
There's like do you just put the ID out and don't you go into like a DNA? Isn't there like an accession database?
Yeah.
So do you have that? Do you know what that is?
So I
Yeah,
don't-
show Young how that is. There's a whole database on DNA, RNA, proteins.
NCBI?
Yeah. Is it NCB? No.
Yeah, if you go to NCBI, they
They
have
have that little-
multiple
yeah.
links, and if you click on the links, they will take you to the
Right. Good. See, now you even know what that is. See, you're learning.
Like this is the.
All right, I'm just gonna go I have a few more of those registration bags because that's the end. Oh, that's another thing. The 3-day Kappa Epsilon convention that I have to do, but I'm gonna just work on my grant there. But this is good because, you know, this is the one thing with this lab is we just keep moving forward and things that I don't know, but that's what keeps the lab fresh.
Yeah, new stuff.
So it's, and I want to teach you. It's like I'm very comfortable not knowing this stuff. That's how we learn, and it's really not as complicated as you think because these kits are simple. So you just like add this, mix, invert, put on the cells, wait 48 hours, voila, you got transfection, and boom, you let them go for 21 days, and you put some stain, but you can talk about it in a really fancy way, and what you're assessing is very fancy.
Yeah.
It's just the technique is quite challenging. You know, the technique's easy, the concept's challenging.
Yes.
So it's been fun.
Never thought about the currency microorganism.
I know those papers have been helping us, and going through all those papers and being an associate editor, I'm finding other great papers. So I'm kind of putting those on my desktop, and we'll review those when we get through this craziness. But I think I've been saying that ever since you both came to the lab. We'll never get through it, so let's just enjoy the process. But I'm gonna go stuff some pamphlets. Did you return the part?
Yeah, I will.
Just,
I think
okay.
she.
It's like they're not hurting for a parking pass.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
I don't.
I think she should have shared this. Like this is see this ACC is the accession. Let me just send it to you.
Is it over? Almost over. Looks like we're getting smaller and smaller, but which is good.
So in the description you have like the source, the accession ID, MGI. If you this one.
Source, I have to find description.
Yeah. And then where is the sequence? It should be here. Oh God, what is this? No, wait. This is not right. Why is that?
Is connecting, linking other.
No, but for microRNA they gave the sequence as soon as I put the accession ID.
Oh really?
Yeah, like what I did for microRNA.
MicroRNA was my R base.
Yeah, so that was easy. You
It's
just put
showing.
an accession ID, it shows you everything. Okay, let me try again. Ah, that's not it. This is the service. But NCBI also has that, I think, sequence map.
We are looking for the sequence.
These are not just proper format for copy and pasting. Any idea?
I'll
Track
just to try.
by
I'll just to
axis.
try. I'll just to try. I try to keep saying like there might be not available. So I don't know.
They have their ID. They should be available.
Oh, I'm saying regarding osteogenesis analytical sites or people.
Oh, people I couldn't find for all the LNCRNA. I could find it for one LNCRNA.
That's one
Where
PG.
people gamma is relevant, but other I couldn't find it.
I was trying to like say like be in advance, but just to she just said just to find sequence. So first see description. I'm trying. Name. If I wanna find DRE. Then go to description. Name. You are saying MGI something, right? ACC MGI the number, right?
didn't bring that.
That is in the brought this one.
I don't know. I didn't bring that.
There was the sitting like. I'll just leave it here. Oh, it's gone. The box is gone.
Oh no, I put them on.
Okay. I'll just leave it there, just in case something important.
Oh, the sequence is too big. It's like
Much to be
Huge. I found after a lot of it. Yeah, I just wanna send you the link.
What did you say? It's all gone. It's all gone. Of course, it's so young.
Look at that.
Is this true? Yes, this shouldn't be 200.
200 and more.
Can you go back?
250 and
Can you go back just a little bit?
just cross-check.
But you found everything on desktop.
That's a huge font.
Doesn't look like.
I'm just gonna insert the link. I'm not gonna copy and paste.
No, no. Where is the media? Apsana, doctor Wittenenderby said she will order sodium pyruvate as well? Oh, okay. She will order, right?
Yeah, she
I don't
will,
need to say,
because
right?
for the cell culture.
I don't need to remind, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh my god, Trap 6 is even bigger.
Huh?
It's like 3 feet
What?
long.
What?
The sequence for Trap 6 is even longer. What the hell? I think I'm doing.
Very important.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have to find up and down, both or just either, right?
Both.
Both?
But don't go through MDI
I
because it will
I
give you the whole gene details. I
Oh.
think if you look into column L, they give you the details of the locus. So you need to find those sequences, not the whole.
guess. Guess 5.